I'm very happy to have here today with me Anastasia Vaipan-Law and Digby of Great Britain, who just got 5th at the European Championships. Congratulations! That was a huge accomplishment, I think, for you. Maybe we start with that you talk us a little bit through this week, and how do you feel now when the competition's over?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a brilliant week overall. Yeah, we're super proud of the achievement. Yeah, I'd say we were a little bit surprised, but yeah, ultimately really proud of the achievement overall.
Yeah, exactly what Luke said. Just come out here with our own personal goals, and I feel like we've exceeded that, so we can definitely go home happy.
I remember, I mean, you skated in the in the final group in the free skate, but you said you weren't even nervous, you were excited.
Yeah.
What helps you handle nerves so well?
I suppose the experience of this season has helped. This season we've had obviously a little bit more superior competitions, and just being surrounded by the kind of environment that we're in, I think for me personally, it just kind of settled me into the fact that, you know, we've been on warm-ups with, you know, some of the other teams before, and I tried to not let it become a big thing for me personally.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're confident in our training, we've been training well, and so I think when we're confident, the nerves, it's not too much of a stressful situation, it's more of an excitement to get out there and show everyone what we can do.
There was a little scare though this week. There was an accident. Maybe you tell us what happened.
I mean,
yeah.
you can.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
feel
was
like
just, unfortunately, I mean, it was just an unfortunate mistake where one tiny little step wrong on the ice can lead in a nasty fall, and unfortunately, that's what happened. Yeah, it was obviously a massive shock to us, and Anna did extremely well to somehow recover from that initially, and yeah, we managed to keep it together throughout the day. And I guess it didn't really affect us in the evening. Like I said, we've been confident in our training, so I wasn't too stressed about what happened previously in the day.
Yeah, I mean, for anybody, it is a scare. Like, everybody was very worried, as obviously, because the way it was. But I think, like Luke said, we're so confident on our training. I just needed to be able to know if I could trust my body, which I could. I was the best person to know exactly how I felt, and I genuinely felt I just needed a few minutes. Yes, I was sore as in pain, but I know my limits, and I would never have gone too far if I didn't feel like it wasn't possible, and I trusted my body, and we all agreed that.
And we'd like to thank everyone in the skating community for all the concern and support. It was really nice to feel that love and support
really nice,
during an unfortunate circumstance.
Yeah, but we appreciate it so much because it's,
And you said you never want to watch the video of it.
No. When the day that I stopped doing pair skating, that's when I'll watch it. But until then, no. I don't need to see that.
No, we don't.
I remember you're telling you this season found your style, and that's also one reason why you found this confidence. Maybe elaborate a little bit more on that. What's your style?
I suppose over the summer we decided, I guess, to change both programs, which was a little bit of a big task to do, but we were confident that the music choices that we decided upon would work, and that we didn't expect it to work as soon as it did, even in Oberstdorf. It was just worked perfectly from the start, and we've been able to continue to build on that. And yeah, in terms of the style, I suppose we've found a sort of genre of music and a tempo that just suits us.
Yeah, like I think last year we wanted to explore a little bit. We both like the intense music. We enjoy it. You know, we think it's great music, and we wanted to put ourselves to the task of skating to the energetic music, but you know, just some things don't work out exactly how you'd hoped, and we just reevaluated after Worlds, and we thought somewhere in the middle of like lyrical, classical, something. We we love it like that as well, and it turns out that it just gelled instantly, didn't it? So we were pretty happy with how it started off.
And I suppose over the last few years we have been on that journey of finding ourselves, our style and our flow within the programs.
So do you also plan to keep that style going into the Olympic season, or have you thought about this already?
Yeah, more
I think
than likely,
roughly,
yeah.
I think we've not sort of got to those conversations yet. I mean, we've put a few ideas here and there forward, but nothing too certain. But yeah, we'd certainly continue working with what has worked this season.
Yeah, we'll all discuss what we felt went right this season. I think we're all like on the same page in terms of like what kind of music we're going for now, like for future. Whether or not we'll keep one of the programs or whatever we do, I don't know. But so far, we're not complaining with our programs, so we'll just see what we think, I suppose, at the end.
Anastasia, you're especially proud of your short program dress, rightly so. And it's made by no one else but Matthew Caron. Yeah, so how was, maybe tell a little bit more about this dress.
I suppose, I mean, you know, when we first got in touch with him, he presented us a few different ideas, and we toyed with a few colors, and we suggested, I forget what color green, what shade in particular it was, and he came back with obviously, well, basically what we have now. And as soon as we saw it, we were like, it really brings some type of like
we tried to get a bit of uniqueness with the colour, but something that still suited us.
Yeah, and as soon as I saw it and I saw the shaping of like the way he did the crystals and everything, I loved it. And you know, it's easily my favorite costume in my entire career, and I wish I could wear it for forever and everything. But I mean, it's a good thing because it means obviously, hopefully, next season be the same scenario. Hopefully with.
You want to work with them again?
Yes, that would be lovely. It would be great.
Right. Now you placed very high, of course, already at the Europeans. What do you think is the next step for you to even get more higher up?
I suppose the next one is Boston in Worlds, and yeah, we'd like to continue that progression that we've showed throughout the season. Obviously, it's a big event with it being the Olympic qualifier. So again, we have all season, we've taken everything in our stride and just tried to focus on ourselves, and whatever the competition happens, it happens, because you never know how everyone's going to skate, so it's difficult sometimes to know sort of placement wise.
Yeah, I think one thing we can do is trust our training, because I'm sure like most teams, but you know, we've been training really well, and there isn't really much more preparation than you give yourself. And for example, this week, some things happen and they're unexpected and you've got to deal with them. So it's one of those things that when we get out to Boston, we'll just take it day by day and just know that back at home, we do what we need to do and we know we can do it. So as long as we just trust ourselves, trust each other, we're looking to
focus on ourselves.
Yeah.
And looking a bit further ahead to the future, what do you think, like technically or skating skills wise, is the next step for you?
We've obviously got a few sort of technical things that we can improve the difficulty on.
I think it's important for us as well. Like we obviously at the start of the season we were planning to do the toe at the start, but obviously I sustained an ankle injury which led to me unable to do the jump. But it so happened that we ended up obviously having to divert to the axel jump, which is no lesser for us in a position of quality. And we do that jump well, and when we do it well, you know, points are point to points. And for us, we know at home we do this jump, so it's like one of those things where we want to keep the quality as well. So we'll discuss, but so far
I think overall we'd like to keep pushing our components marks. I think that's key in the GOE. Kind of everything can always get better, so it's kind of focusing on
the finesse.
a lot of different aspects.
Yeah.
Going back to the start, kind of, I mean, in Great Britain, figure skating is not the most popular sport, to be honest. Especially, I think, not for boys.
Yeah.
So how, can you maybe tell a little bit, how did you get into the sport, and how was it, especially maybe for you, Luke, to do figure skating as a boy in Great Britain?
It was mainly through my sisters. I got two older sisters and a brother, but my two older sisters wanted to skate, so I kind of was quite young at the time, so I just went along just to learn without really anything with that at that time. So I just continued to go through the badges and the levels, and as the years went by, I just worked my way up to a point where I was doing quite well at every level, and then I started to enjoy it more, and that's sort of how I wanted to continue pursuing it.
Yeah. Were there ever like the voices like, yeah, you should do ice hockey instead, or is it not really?
To be honest, I've never actually skated an ice hockey skate, so it was always figure skates from the start. So yeah, it was figure skating all the way.
How about you?
Well, I was basically born into the ice rink. Both my mom and my dad are both figure skaters themselves. They met doing shows in my hometown in Blackpool, England. But yeah, both my parents were quite successful skaters themselves, and I suppose them going relatively far in that area just kind of led me on to kind of being inspired that way. And I kind of just dawdled around a little bit at the start. I wasn't really doing much. I didn't really start till I was about 7 years old. And then at that time I started to take lessons and learn everything, and then figured I was not so bad at it, so I just kept going. Here I am.
How was it with were your parents also your coaches at the beginning?
So my mom was for a little while, but I wasn't a very good listener with my
You
mom.
decided it's better to...
And so I ended up getting coached separately. And then often when I would go out to see my dad, who's in the States, he would like give me coaching there too, but it was only for when I visited. So yeah, mainly coached by my own coaches and parents. That's the best.
It was better for you to separate the two.
Yeah, I think they preferred it too, to be fair.
How's your training situation right now? I know you're coached by the twin brothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in the US and then Great Britain. Maybe you can explain a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we have Simon based in Dundee, and then we have Jason over Zoom a couple of times a week, and that's how it's been from the start, really. And it's been, I think after COVID it got a little bit more usual to sort of do FaceTime lessons and things like that. So we found it, really effective, almost like having them in person. So that was really helpful, and it's great to have different input.
Yeah, because even though obviously we have Simon there with us in person, Jason knows us really well as well, so it's easy for him to kind of spot things like through the Zoom and then just kind of give us those corrections that he knows as well.
And he normally does sort of any competitions in North America,
he'll be there.
He'll always be there, so
They'll
that's
both
nice
be there
as
at
well.
Worlds, just to confuse everybody.
Yeah, because it is confusing at times. Is it also confusing for you? Are you?
No, I always say this to everyone: just look at the glasses. Simon wears glasses, Jason wears contacts, so that's
Even though, like, even if they were both to just be without or with, like, I feel like there is like a distinct, but I feel like because we're with Simon every day and we know Jason so well, it's easier for us.
But
obviously,
if you look at it from an outset, they are very similar.
They are very similar.
So yeah, it's easily confused.
Easily done.
What's the difference in them that made their coaching style, or maybe what does one better? Does the other one better?
I mean, I wouldn't say either of them do any better than in anything.
I'd say we're all on the same page, really. I mean, obviously they're brothers, so they communicate all the time, so everyone's on the same page, so there's never any conflicts or anything like that.
No.
It's everyone's with the same technique and same ideas.
They're twins after all. They've got the same brain. So it's easy to work.
Identical twins? Are they identical twins?
Yeah, identical.
Yeah. All right, then they have
So
basically
they're
the same brain.
We hear it here. We hear it. The same.
Definitely. Luke, it's kind of famous about you that you've been part of the famous Team Champery in Switzerland, been training with Stéphane Lambiel, and he was also the one who got you to the idea that you could do pairs. Maybe you can explain that.
Excuse me. That was after my injuries when I was still in Switzerland. Yeah, that was sort of the idea and proposal that he put forward for me. I had like a little taster into pairs, and really enjoyed it. So that was sort of the start of my journey in that respect.
You started in Champery. Were there any pair girls?
Not really. We did like a 2-day, like we had lots of new people who hadn't done pairs before come, and there's about 10 of us, and Bruno Massot came, and it was just more just finding out about pairs. So yeah, it wasn't anything too much on the ice. It was just sort of, I guess, a starting point.
How did you come to pairs?
So I've always liked pairs. I've always loved watching it. I mean, can't say from a young age I wanted to do it because I was terrified. But no, I think I had a knee injury and I went surgery in January 2019, and I decided that even when I came back from surgery, I never felt like I was comfortable to really kind of do the things I needed to do as a solo skater, and I felt like it was time for me to maybe find a new discipline, and I was very interested at pairs at this time as well, so it was easy for me to make that decision. It wasn't a hard one for me at this point, so yeah.
You said finding a new discipline. Was ice dance ever an option for maybe either of you?
No, not for me.
Do you know what? For me, it's not that I would have, but at the time, before any of this started, like it did cross my mind, but then at the same time, I wanted to do like the fun, like the throws and stuff. Like
I think at that point when I was deciding, it never really excited me personally, so I would never felt I would be. Equally, I didn't think I'd be good enough to do it. To be honest,
I love performing. So I think for me that was something that really interested me, but I thought, well, I could do that in pairs too, so it's fine.
And in pairs, this is maybe a little bit more rare if you have also the big performance aspect.
Yeah.
So you as a team always seem very harmonious. Is that really like that, or what makes you such a good team?
Yeah, I'd say right from the start we've always had shared the same goals, which I think is key because we've always been on that same page. And I'd say in terms of a work ethic, motivation, determination, we're both really driven each day in practice, and we always are there on time, ready to go and wanting to be better every day. So I guess it makes life easy really, because we're always there, both with the right attitude. And
I think it also helps because we're always there for each other as well. I mean, everybody knows in pairs, ice dance, or even by yourself, like, you know, some days you need the motivation, and we're always there for each other in that way, like, you know, and you need that in a partner. And I think it's really important to have that because you need them to be there for the support, and we do that, and I think that's what really helps us grow
we have a
all the time.
really close-knit bond with Simon and Jason as well, so that helps create that team environment as well.
Maybe a little personal question. You're both openly in a relationship outside of this partnership.
Yeah.
You're even engaged.
Yeah, I am engaged,
How does it work with your partners and working so closely together with another person?
It's never been an issue.
Yeah.
It's never been an issue.
That's how it should be.
This is almost like work in a way.
Yeah.
It's, you know, we have a great working relationship on the ice, and we have a high level of respect for each other.
Yeah, and both our partners
understand.
Yeah, because she was in sport as well, and my boyfriend's still in sport too, and they've got a very good understanding, especially your fiance, because obviously she was a skater herself, so she completely understands, and then obviously my boyfriend doesn't, but he's learning. But he understands, and I think that's what's really good about them both, is they both know we've got these goals that we want to achieve, and they're there to support us individually, and I think it's the biggest thing you can have.
Yeah, and I suppose we still have, I mean, we have our skating life and then our personal life as well, so we get the balance really well.
Then when's the marriage?
Summer of 2026.
Yeah.
A year and a half away.
Oh my god, it's next year.
Yeah, next year now.
It comes sooner than you think, I guess. But some exciting things before that, actually. So you have the home Europeans and the Olympics. Home Europeans kind of secure that you'll participate there, and you are from Sheffield.
Yeah.
Maybe as a last thing of this interview, what can people maybe expect from Sheffield, and how are you feeling about this event coming up?
What can people expect? I think they've got a good team together that are putting things together, so we're hoping to have a nice spectacle, a nice event. hopefully some unique things, and yeah, just trying to get a really good crowd together and get lots of support for the skaters. And I guess, yeah, it's just really exciting. We had the home Grand Prix a few years ago, and that was, yeah, really exciting. And having the home support, you can't really beat it. That's my personal opinion. You can't really beat seeing the whole place covered in Great Britain
It's going to be
flags.
nice as well to kind of bring such a prestigious event to the UK. Like we said at the start of this, it's not a big sport in the UK, and hopefully
Help
word,
raise the profile. Yeah.
hopefully word gets out, and people, you know, out of maybe curiosity will come and see it, and then have a new respect for the sport, and it will be great to kind of push the sport forward in the UK.
That's the hope.
You've seen Kanas supporting the Lithuanians and here
Yeah.
Estonians, and then you think
I
like,
know,
what
I'm
is
thinking,
that's
right.
going to be us next year?
Come on, UK.
Hopefully, yeah.
Gotta live up.
You will be. Right. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you.
Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Bye.